In this video, I'm gonna cut the top down with the 1.5 and I'm gonna give him a taper on the sides and in the back. Before you cut somebody with waves, always comb their wave pattern. So that way you know where the cowlick is in their head. You know where which way the crown grows. That way you won't gap anybody. Okay, so we're gonna begin this haircut out with the 1.5, and the lever is gonna be fully open. So it's more so like a 1.75, even though that's not an actual guard number. It would not quite be a 2, but almost a 2. And it's a good starting point to start from the crown because that's where the hair grows from. So this is also the most difficult part of the haircut when it comes to cutting the hair down. So if you start with the hard part first, the rest of it will be a piece of cake. And it's very important to take your time in the crown area. But we're just gonna continue to follow the natural wave pattern to cut the hair down evenly. Okay, and now we're gonna take the Slimline Pros and make our bald guideline around the entire head. So we're doing a taper on the sides and in the back. But we're not gonna take this taper too high. A lot of wavers, they don't like taking their tapers too high because they wanna maintain as many waves as they can. Okay, so moving on to the fading process, we have the clipper with the lever fully open. And we're not gonna go up quite an inch because like I said, we're not gonna take this taper too high. And then now you just see me start the blending process. And throughout this blending process, you never see me use the full blade. So when you see me do this taper, you're only gonna see me use the right half of the blade because you're blending in such a small space, you don't wanna accidentally raise your guidelines too high. And notice how I have my thumb pulling the skin, so I'm creating tension to get as tight of a blend as I can. So we're gonna take the 0 guard with the lever fully open, and this is gonna be the highest guard that we use for this taper, or really is gonna be the only guard. And here we knock it down fully closed. Notice how I'm still using the corner of that blade. Okay, now you see me go in between that 0 open and 0 closed. And short tapers like this, the key is all about how hard you press down with the clipper on the head. It's all about touch. Especially when you're trying to just blend out certain parts, certain dark spots, it's all about how hard you press down with the clipper. And see, here you can see I'm just lightly tapering down those edges. I'm not pressing down hard at all. And especially right here, you see me just lightly flicking my wrist because I'm only trying to flick out certain spots. So what I'm doing right now is basically touch-up work. I've done all of the blending that I need to. I'm just lightly touching up any dark spots just to get it just to give it that blurry look. It may not look like I'm cutting anything, but I promise you I am. It's just a few select hairs that I'm trying to get. Okay, so now we move on to the neck taper. And as you guessed it, nothing will change. We're gonna use the exact same steps that we did on the left side of the head. Now, one thing about neck tapers with people that have waves, so it can be tricky on some neck tapers. Now, his hair is not really that bad, but where people tie their do-rag in the back, the hair starts to grow in a swirl kind of at their neckline. right below their occipital bone, but his is not that bad. But you'll find a lot of wavers that have swirls back there in that area. And here we have the zero guard. Notice how I'm lightly flicking. I'm not really trying to make a heavy guideline just because I want this to be a soft, smooth taper. And notice how, again, so you can see on the right side, his hair grows at an angle. So that's why you see me fading back to the right with the corner of the blade. I'm just trying to manipulate that hair. And as you can see, the blend is coming together. And as always, I recommend, guys, you learn by experience. So if I were you guys, I would pull up this video, get a cousin or a friend or just a little brother, somebody that will let you practice this haircut on them. Pull up this video and follow the steps, step by step. And I promise you will get the same result or close to it. Or hey, you might even do better than me. So that's why these videos are made. They're made to help you guys. So find someone that will let you cut your hair, will let you cut their hair, and practice this haircut over and over and over again. And you guessed it. So we did the left taper, we did the neck taper, and now we're gonna do the right taper the exact same way. And another thing about doing tapers or fades, just anything in general. So usually people have a strong side and they have a weak side. So his right side is his strong side. A lot of people's edges are a lot darker on one side, but yeah, you just have to adjust. Okay, so now we're moving on to my favorite part of the haircut, which is the lineup. And here we're just tapering down the front hairline with the zero guard fully open. A lot of wavers, their hair tends to curl up at the edges. And when he brushes his hair, I don't want it to curl back up or overlap. So that's why I trim the edges down. And then here I'm just applying some holding spray just to make his hair lay down just a little bit better. And I always preach to find the natural balance between sharp and natural. But another thing that I want to emphasize is take your time, guys. You're not in a race. Trust me, people do not mind you taking the extra 5 minutes to make sure the haircut is right. Trust me. Especially when you're first starting out, take your time. You'll get faster over time. So don't worry if it takes you an hour to do a haircut. You have to learn. So it's a learning curve to everything. And especially with the neckline, don't try to push anything in too far. And over the ear, don't exaggerate it too high. Now you notice he's just a little light in the corners, but we're not going to dig into his corners. We're just gonna keep going straight across and try to get it as natural as possible. We're gonna take off just enough to where we can get a line to show. See, I didn't have to go back too far. I just wanna go just far enough to where I can get a line to show. And this is a must in my opinion, is getting straight hairs. Now, this is the icing on the cake in my opinion. For a haircut, this is the icing on the cake. If you want that extra crispiness out of a lineup, definitely use the razor. All right, so now just to add some shine to his hair, we're just gonna apply some oil sheen. And I'm gonna show you guys the finished look in just a second. By the way, if you guys are new to this channel and if you've gotten value out of this video, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Let me know how it turned out in the comments, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.